Hey, honey, you ready to get into it? Hey, besties. Hey, how are you? It's Behind the Shade, honey. And we have got to talk Married to Medicine. It's season 12, episode 12, the 5 love languages, honey. Um, besties, what is your love language? Huh? Mine, I have two. Mine is quality time and touch. Uh-huh. Quality time and touch. But at the same time, I believe all 5 are important in a relationship. There comes a time where you're going to need acts of service, words of affirmation, you're going to want some gifts, you're going to want to be touched, and you want to spend time with the person. All 5 are very relevant and can be switched out whenever it is needed. Okay, but let's get into the episode. So Angel's friend Bernard, okay, Angel, you got it going on. Angel, your body is sickening. Angel, you are cute. I'm gonna need you to get your relationship together. I don't want you to be in no gray areas with nobody. He either in or he out. Stop letting these men have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. If that's how he rocking and rolling, date more people, and then he'll become less of a priority. So he calls her up. He like, I'm gonna join you. I'm coming to Jamaica. And she's a little confusion. Shout out to Funky Dineva. She's like, I invited him when I was invited, and he told her that it was a big step. We need to talk about it. And yeah, now he wanna pop up on day 2. And it's like, dude, it's easy. Do you want to go on vacation or don't you? Do you have the money to go or don't you? Do you want to spend time with her or don't you? If you don't, if you're not taking her serious, don't come. Like, make it very friend zoney. Because they've been rocking and rolling for 10 years, still trying to figure it out. I get the up and down. You went, got married, had kids, come back. I mean, work it out in the first conversation. You know what I'm saying? When when you reconnect, all of that should be discussed in that conversation. Like that initial conversation, that's the conversation that may need to be 2, 3, 4 hours long because you want to address everything. You want to get an understanding. You want to reintroduce who you are in this moment. And if she the one or not. And she's probably not your one, sir. So what is the Hemi and Han? We too old for that. How old is Angel? Is she in her 30s? If she is, okay. If she's not, and you know what, bestie? Hold tight. I'm going to check. Hold tight. Because I got to put the maturity with what's, I got to add. It got to make sense. Hold the line, please. Well, besties, she's right at that age. She is 39. Yeah, it's time to stop playing with these people. She is a Scorpio. Her birthday is November 14th. Okay, it's early in the year. It's time to, I think she'll get there. I think she's almost there. Okay, so she would like to understand where their relationship is. Uh-huh. Yeah, because we almost 40, Angel. Get it together. So everyone's getting ready for dinner, getting dressed, talking, and trying on colognes and da 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 da, playing and just doing their love languages. Okay. So Eugene is telling Toya that he does not trust Toya's apology, and it's like Toya already said how she gonna apologize and she gonna be back to her stuff by 6 o'clock that night. So Toya ain't even taking her seriously. So at the dinner table, they're outside in Jamaica. They're looking real good and sexy. It's looking good. Everybody's all excited. And so Brandy announces that her husband will be joining them in the morning, but he's only staying for a day. She has to leave early because their kids start school, so they're going to have to cut it short. So Toya starts with an icebreaker game. What's your love language? And has your spouse done the love language today? So, for example, Toya's love language is acts of service. Eugene's is words of affirmation. Child, well, Toya is flipping that bill, honey. She gonna cuss you out, love on you, make fun of you, talk to you, be your friend, agree, encourage. She got it all. She got all the words. So that might be good for them because his acts of service is he gonna get up and go get 20 jobs and buy her a house. I was like, Toya, your other love language ain't gifts. I thought your love language would be gifts. Child. So Cecil don't know Simone's love language. They've been together almost 30 years, and he like, I don't know. Simone says it's acts of service. Mm-hmm. And Cecil doesn't do it. He didn't do it today. Because she said she had ordered room service and he brought her tray or something. So I guess that was the act of service. So he was like, y'all, we just don't take things so serious. And I was like, that's why you and them kids got cussed out a couple episodes ago. Because you need to take things more seriously. Child. Oh, and so Dr. Mimi confirms what I just said. She said, well, they need to do their work. You need to do it. Because if you don't work at it, you're going to, separate, you're going to grow apart. So Quad's, honey, hers is the words of affirmation, honey. She needs to be affirmed. She needs to be encouraged. She needs to know that you see her. And she needs you to encourage and, and motivate her. King's is acts of service and quality time. And honey, Quad says they do a lot of quality time. Unless they're mad at each other, then he goes to his house, she stay at hers. Okay, Contessa and Scott, they see changes in Q and King's relationship. They picking it out, honey. So Heavenly, her acts of service, her love language, is touch. And they touched that morning. And Damon over there. Curtis, is his love language is touch. Mimi's is words of affirmation. Steve compliments her often. Scott says, well, I'm a Scorpio. Mine's is touch. That's it. That's all. Touch, touch, touch. Okay. Toya goes right to Mimi. You said you was unsure about coming on this trip. She was like, I posed a question to Simone asking, was Toya a safe friend? Simone says exactly what Mimi asked. She said exactly what she asked. She said, you didn't feel comfortable coming with Toya as a host. You wasn't sure she was going to be able to host you well on this trip because she'd been spazzing out. And so Simone wants Mimi to stand on business. And so Mimi was like, I got the business, girl. Don't worry about nothing, Simone. You ain't fixing to check me. She was like, no, it's about how Toya shows up as a friend. Because when Toya and Heavenly got into it, Toya turned on me and projected all that energy onto me. And so, yeah, we're not going to overlook that. Okay? So Simone clocked that T. So Eugene says, he wants to spend more time with Mimi and Steve so they can get to know one another, so they can, grow and not have these questions and feel safe and feel comfortable around them. So they're like, yeah, I like that. Let's do that. We got it. Okay, cool. So then they play the game of questions. And child, we already know. Questions don't never go well in the Housewife franchise. This is how the mess gets started. So they got red flags and green flags. They're gonna ask a question. You put up with, if it's a red flag for you or a green flag. whatever. So they ask, okay, what about when you and your partner are doing the silent treatment when you're fighting? And everybody put up red flags. They don't like the silent treatment. They want to talk until they resolve. So then, okay, so do your partner get a hall pass on vacation? What if they joke about it? Is that a red or a green flag? Everybody put the red flag up. Everybody like, nope, nope, nope. Eugene said, I would have to been eaten by a shark, no arms, no legs, no peen, and on life support, and then you can have a pass. So the next question is, is it a red flag or a green flag when you use your boundaries as an excuse not to grow? And of course, it's a red flag. So contestants like, I need an example. And so the example is given that towards Angel. So Toya, brought up when she met Bernard and she fronted Angel off about, well, you wanted me to hook you up with one of Eugene's friends and you got a friend. So it was like red flag. And it's like Toya. But Toya didn't want to bring it up, but that was the first thing that popped in her head. And she didn't want to say nothing. And they was all, say it, say it. See, so you got to say it now. So respect your friends, Toya. Respect your friends is what Angel said. Toya admits that she was just being shady, and so Angel says she's been engaged plenty of times, and she's been married, honey. She said, I don't need help getting hooked up, baby. You see this body, you see this face. I got it going on, honey. So okay, now they see each other. They can move on. And I like how Married to Medicine, they're taking things lightly. They're not just going charging at each other like they had before. Just, everybody, like, you can have your back and forth and back again, but we don't need to be jumping up, hollering, screaming, throwing stuff, getting ready to fight. The men got to jump in. It's like, give us all a break. Have some decorum about yourself as couples, because if you get funky with a chick, now your husband's got to get dragged into it when they don't even want to. So Jackie gathers the ladies after dinner. She's like, yeah, we got to get together. We got to get together. We got to get together. We got to discuss this Met Gala. Don't go nowhere. So they got to get the ball rolling, honey. Things are not being planned. I don't think they have a venue yet, y'all. I don't think they have a theme. They don't have money. They need to figure out how they're going to pay for this stuff. And, this is their third year. The last 2 years have been fine. But they mad at Toya because she has not done anything to help out. No contribution whatsoever. Just a box of wine. Here go Eugene. Y'all drunk it. So they need some money. We need to start moneying. We need y'all to get some donations going. If you can get here to Jamaica, you can donate to the gala. So Brandy is like, she ain't heard nothing about the gala. And don't ask me for no money if I can't give my say on the event that I'm supposed to be a part of. Let me have a say so. Let me pick the colors out. Let me at least do something, and then I will donate, okay? So Heavenly says Toya is full of crap. She tired of holding it in. She's sick of this because it's just so much drama. And she was like, let's all just split the money so Toya can STFU. I was like, wow. Toya tells Heavenly to STFU back. So Damon, the guys are over to the side because the women are having a meeting. So Damon is like, I don't understand. It's just getting louder and louder. So Eugene walks over and he putting everybody on timeout. Timeout, timeout, timeout. Toya, let's go. If you've had to say what you had to say and they don't like what you're saying and they charging at you, let's go. And so she's like, no, Eugene, it's fine. It's just Heavenly who's acting a fool. He was like, well, let's go. Because, he ain't fooling with Heavenly. And so he's like, look, Toya, I'm not going to watch anyone disrespect you because then I will get disrespectful with a bunch of ladies and that ain't going to go over well. So Quad says the people don't trust Toya. They don't want to give her no money. Toya need to just pay for this Met Gala on her own. And like Quad said, we gonna come back next year and help out. I was like, no, come back in 2 years and help out. So, honey, Heavenly tells Jackie that this was just ignorant to let Toya be the CFO. Honey, Toya is embarrassed. Heavenly tells Toya she's not a businesswoman. She don't know what she's doing. And blah, 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 blah. Jackie just sitting there being Jackie. Ugh. So then Eugene, is this the next day? So Eugene and Toya are talking in their room. And, she hates that her and Angel go back and forth and back again. And, they were still talking about this Bernard thing. And she says she remembers like when she was in her 20s and 30s, how she was running around dating everybody. And it was just the thing to do. And so Eugene's like, don't remind me, don't remind me. And so Toya just feels like at this age, settle down. But it's like, Toya, everybody just doesn't get to meet a Eugene and get married and having 2 kids in the house and the portion can just, y'all realities are different and you need to be a little bit more compassionate about that, okay? She's married, she's divorced, she's been engaged a whole bunch of times. She's trying to work this 10-year relationship out with Bernard, and you need to just mind your business. So Eugene tells Toya, all I wanted you to do is keep your composure, and you did keep your composure with Heavenly, and that's all you needed to do. So good job. You didn't go there with her like last season, and she was like, I don't know why Heavenly always jumps to the word calling and the name calling and the cussing and and Eugene said, because Heavenly is childish. And he said, and she needed a timeout. And I couldn't tell her that she needed it, so I put all of us on the timeout. So Eugene is noticing that Damon is not checking Heavenly the way he should. He's very quiet, standoffish, don't say anything. And he don't like that because he comes to his wife's defense, but he needs Damon to come to Heavenly's defense. He needs to check her because he's getting ready to check Heavenly himself, and that's not going to go well. Because who did Heavenly get into it? It was a guy, doctor. Who did Heavenly get into it with last season? Not Cecil. Was it, who was she funky with last? Was it Scott? I don't remember. Was it Eugene? Was it Eugene? Something about some doctor said something else. Oh, something. I don't remember. Okay, so Eugene wants to talk to Damon because he's just like he's not gonna tolerate Heavenly disrespecting Toya or him and his family. So child Bernard has arrived. Now, when he first called Angel, she was like, okay, well, let me talk to Toya and Eugene about getting you your own room. I was like, yes, girl, put the boundary up, honey. Why is he here? Girl, there's so many men in Jamaica. Not that I want you to do the Stella, how Stella got a groove back, but Angel, well, she liked who she liked, child. But baby, yeah, she did say she need to figure this out with him. So he came, he's calling her down from the lobby, but his energy is off. And I'm just like, why are you here, sir? Like, what is this chip on your shoulder? You ain't that cute. You give me Greg vibes from Potomac. Like, you got a bad sister. Act like it. Ugh. So the ladies are going rafting, and then they're going to get massages afterwards, honey. And the men are heading out in 2 separate vans, and they're going to a private island to chill on the beach and kick it and have a good time. So, honey, here come Bernard, right? But don't nobody know him. He come knocking on the van. They looking like, okay. Eugene thought it was the help. Thought he worked at the hotel. And so Eugene is on the van with King, Damon, and Cecil. And so Bernard joins them. And he's like, okay, so where are we going today? And they like, well, who are you? So once they established who he was, Eugene tells Damon that he wants to talk to him. Child, Damon is like, look, keep it drama free. He don't want to get into it with Eugene. He just here to have a good time. And that's that. So the men, they all meet up at the private beach because they're in two separate vans. So they all, woo woo wooing, and Steve is cracking jokes with Eugene, because they're starting their relation, their friendship. And the women get to their destination, they get their drinks going, and then Brandy's like, I have to leave y'all. And of course, it was giving, why did you come to have to turn around and leave? Huh? It was just like, why did you? But I guess production, they got to show up to get paid. And so, she tells us about her. She has a nanny or whatever, but she said doing this show, she realized that she needs more nannies to cover because her nanny has a life, So, she realizes she needs more help in order to be a part of this cast because she has 4 younger kids and everybody else has older children. So I'm like, will we see her again? So they leave because the kids start school the next day. So good parenting, good job. So the ladies head down to the rafts. Honey, the water looks murky, questionable, dangerous. People, I don't have the right shoes on, what Heavenly said. And Jackie's like, you want me to get in that water? And they're not getting in it. They're on it on little raft boats. But, the water going to get on them, And it looks dangerous. It just looks nasty. It's not clear. It's not beautiful. It's dirty and icky. But they all get on with their bougie selves. And so over at the private island with the men, Eugene gets on his soapbox, honey. And Damon says, we have strong women. Our wives can handle their own. Eugene's like, time out on all that. Somebody said they wanted Toya in charge to see her fail. Who said it? Everybody looking like, ooh. And Curtis had his hands on his chest like he is the one that said it. And so, or maybe he was repeating what Jackie said. But it's coming out of that household. Oh, Curtis told us without telling us, you got to pay attention. Or was it old mean Heavenly? We all know it was Heavenly, right? I'm like, but I don't let Jackie slide. I don't let Jackie slide. It was one of them. So, honey, Damon is he says, this finger pointing is a waste of time. You either do the event or not. And appreciate, and so Eugene just does not appreciate Damon staying silent. So the episode ended there, besties. It was a pretty good episode. Quick review, but very good episode. It was good. I like that they're traveling and they're fussing, but they're not fighting. We can fuss, but don't fight. Okay? A little back and forth and back, maybe not back again, but let's keep it moving. And that's what we like Married to Medicine. They're getting back to how they used to be. Okay? But honey, I like that, honey. The men might have a little drama. Because, honey, Eugene is like, look, I have to defend my wife, or she's gonna think I'm a punk. And I'm not trying to be labeled no punk. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, he gotta do his love language. He gotta do her love language. What was her love language, best? Was it acts of service? Yeah. Or was it and his was words of affirmation? Or was hers? Oh, I think hers was acts of service. Okay, besties. We can continue this conversation down in the comment section. Like the video, hype. Please give me some hypes. We need some more besties. I need to grow my channel some more besties. Don't y'all want me to stay around and all that stuff? But that was the end of the episode. We'll see what happens next week. I'm sure it's going to get a little hotter. And I can't wait. And I'm so excited. We got Potomac is done, you guys. This Friday is the last of Love During Lockup. This is the season finale. Love and Marriage Huntsville starts back this Saturday. Now, what is my schedule? Um, Beverly Hills on Thursday. I'll get that out to you. Friday will just be Bell Collective. I'll get that out. Saturday will be Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'll get that out on Sunday, early Sunday. Then I'll come back Sunday night with Married to Medicine. Whew, I'm going to like this schedule. So I'm down to 4 shows instead of 5. So I have a little bit of freedom, more freedom. I need it because 5 shows a week is a lot with working also. And I'll have this freedom until, whew, Real Housewives of Atlanta starts on Easter, April the 5th, I believe. So I got a few weeks to have 4 shows. Then I'll probably still be at 4 because I'm sure Bell Collective will be over by then. But I'm wondering, I think I saw when Love After Lockup starts. I think it starts in April too. I think it starts in April. Okay, besties. Just giving you a little heads up on what's going on. But if you hit that notification bell on this channel, you will be updated you'll be notified each and every time I post my content. Bye, besties.